turn the fans off, do you think?
Okay. So
Yeah, we're gonna be.
Well, I think it's just that it's circulating air, isn't it?
Warm air, yes.
Yeah.
And then we just opened that, so there's a lot of cold air to warm up.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same here, if you want warm, if you want warm.
Oh, because it's actually I can hear them.
Okay, okay, yes, and we can test the sound. So you can hear me okay like this? Especially in the back rows? Super. Okay, I like to play music and I like to play it loud. So to begin with, I just want to introduce myself a little bit. I'm a normal person just like all of you. Hello, Levi. That's the guy I was talking about. Okay. Yes, so I've been practicing Kundalini Yoga for over 10 years, like maybe 12, 13 years, I can't remember now. And I've been teaching it almost the same amount of time. When I first came to the Kundalini Yoga class, I thought, oh my God, something just clicked in me, like as if I've done it before. I knew how to tune in, I knew how to tune out. I just like gathered my friends and we were doing it. I was teaching them already, like not knowing that I was teaching. So a very interesting experience. But how about you guys? Is there anybody here who is new to Kundalini and never practiced it before? Okay, wonderful, super, okay, great. And yeah, so Amanjot is the spiritual name which was given to me through the lineage of Kundalini Yoga. And it means Aman is the person of peace and Jot is God's light. I mean, it's not like I haven't got a spiritual name which my mother given me, you know, my name is Allah, which is a Russian name, but also an aspect of God Allah. So my mother didn't know, but if you look into the roots of your name, I'm sure you'll find some connection to divine anyway. So, but I keep my spiritual name as well because being a person of peace is a challenge for me, and you know, I like everything that so I like to remind myself of this. So what we're going to do, since we're not allowed many things, but that's why I like Kundalini Yoga, is, you know, there are so much choice of what you can do in Kundalini Yoga. There's so many things. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to still tune in and still going to use the mantra Om Namo Gurudev Namo, which is in your handouts. So just so you know what you're saying, Om Namo Gurudev Namo means I bow to the wisdom within myself, and or I bow to the teachings within myself. I bow to that divinity, to the teacher which I have inside. And we're not going to do it in a normal way. Normally we chant, but today we're going to tune in with the celestial communication. And celestial communication is by using our arms, which are extension of our hearts. We're going to do a bit of expression with our hands and like singing with our hands, okay? So the words of this chant are Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So you'll be doing the gestures with your hands, okay? And then there's another one, I bow to you, I bow to me, I bow to thee within myself, okay? And there's an element of game in this as well, because at some point the chant will go faster. So you will all mess up, don't worry. I will mess up as well. So it's just having fun, tuning in, and just like loosen up a little bit, okay? Okay, let's begin. And if you're interested with the music, what music I play, I can share my playlist at the end, okay, guys? If it's too loud, let me know as well.
Your voice will be really loud to reach the back.
Okay.
Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. About to me, about to thee within myself, about to thee, about to thee within myself, about to me, about to thee within myself.
So express with your arms,
Namo
sing with your arms.
Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. About to me, about to thee within myself.
And you can close your eyes, just feel the movements from your heart.
About to me, about to thee within myself.
Feel it.
About to me, about to thee within myself. Om
to the heart center. Inhale deeply. Suspend that breath and exhale completely. And let's inhale again. And exhale. Allow the energy to settle down. Feel whatever you're feeling, sense whatever you're sensing. You might be sensing a lot, you might be sensing nothing. Sensing nothing is also sensing. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so you feel warm? Yeah? Good. We're gonna get even warmer, alright? So we're gonna stand up. Are we okay to do the shaking exercises? Like, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to stand up, and I'm going to put the music on, and we're going to really loosen up. So shaking is a very good tool for releasing all the stress, deep-seated stress. So you can do it, take any exercises you wish from today home and just practice. You don't need to tune in on it or anything. You know, you're feeling tense and you just go and just shake, okay? So we'll be shaking the legs and the arms, just the whole body to the music. Keeping arms above the shoulders is the best because you allow the whole lymph to move in your body. And just loosening everything up, okay? I'll do it with you, don't worry. So we'll be nice and sweaty and smelly afterwards. And you can close your eyes if you feel a little bit shy. So head and neck. students. We're going to do one last one. This is from Moana.
Hey, Cái mai cầu lima ôi tengah tak elang wayau ini betul ulu tu hai mai lah bagaimana
Express yourself. Express your inner child, the fun part of you. And please inhale. Arms up. Arms up, inhale. And exhale, arms down. And again, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. Stretch up, suspend the breath. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Squeeze the anus, perineum, navel briefly. And exhale. And just stay there, close your eyes, go inwards. And just feel alive. Allow the energy to settle down a little bit. Just stay in that space. Feel the heartbeat that echoes through your body. Wonderful, wonderful. Please come down on your mat. So this was fun. Thank you for your participation. Oh, that was a long time ago when I danced with so many people together in one space. Yeah, so I won't be taking part in the rest of the workshop, otherwise I'll be enjoying myself too much. But I will be obviously instructing and making sure you're doing the exercises correctly. So I forgot to ask if there's any injuries in the...
Just got to be aware of my knee, but I sort of know what I can do and what I can't. So.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you for letting me know. And yes, I always say to all the students, work with the limitations of your body and listen to your body, you know. The idea is, of course, to push ourselves a little bit beyond of what our mind thinks what our boundaries are, but not to hurt yourself, and be conscious of your body and your limitations. And a little bit about that, yes, a little bit about that. What is your boundary? So the boundary is the grain or the edge where your mind thinks, okay, if you go beyond that, it is dangerous, okay? So the mind creates this boundary. Or if somebody crosses that, they may become danger to us. And so as we grow through the life, we expand. And so the boundary that mind created to us, say initially or some time ago, becomes too small, becomes a prison to ourselves. So we, over time, we need to break the boundary, create new one. And then again, break that boundary, create new one, because we keep expanding. Break that one, create new one, okay? So it's like an ongoing process. It's not like, okay, I've set the boundaries now forever, or I've broke my boundaries now forever, forever limitless. It doesn't really work like that. And talking about today's workshop, you know, self-liberation through taking self-responsibility. I mean, I wanted to have a chat with you, actually. What do you think is self-liberation? How do you understand self-liberation?
Sense of
Free
freedom.
yourself from fear, maybe?
Sense of freedom? Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Letting go of ties or possession,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Anything else?
Overcoming your own fears and not really worrying what other people think of you.
Yeah.
Sense of being part of everything rather than being on your own within something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Being able to transcend what you've been conditioned with the
Yes.
past life.
Yes. It's that growing process, isn't it? Breaking and making new. Breaking and making new. Yeah. Anything else?
Understanding what is real and true.
Okay. Yep. Understanding what is real and truth. Yes, please.
Freedom from the ego.
Freedom from the ego. Yes. Yeah. Certain degree. Yeah. Anything else?
I think it's what it then goes on to. If you have self-liberation, you will want it for others.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. As much as you want them, you can't make them, right? Yes. And yes, I really liked all the things you've said. They all make very good point. I wanted to touch on the ego. Thank you for bringing the ego into space. Yes. In Kundalini philosophy, in Kundalini lineage, it's understood that ego is not a bad guy. Ego is simply a mechanism which, if you let the mechanism or algorithm to run by itself, it's just going to overrun everything. It's like this, I don't know if you've heard about this algorithm of social media and all the apps that we have on our phones, that it became so large, the machines, the computers are on the ground, underground, in the sea, above the sea, they are everywhere. And the algorithm became so large, people are just not capable of managing it. And so it's running itself, right? And that becomes a problem. Same thing with the ego. It's just a mechanism that actually is supposed to help us to have a little aspect saying, okay, we are a little different, but we're still part of the divine. So in Kundalini Yoga, we don't try to get rid of ego. We try to run the ego. So we take in control of ego, because ego allows you to experience this life as if you believe in reincarnation and spirit. When spirit comes to plane on earth, ego is the one who helps the spirit experience this little aspect that it is, that it's Amanjot, or it's Rochelle, or it's, Levi, or whoever else. So that's why we are all very different to each other, yet we are part of the same. And simply managing the ego, or managing your mind, or managing it, ego can be your worst friend, but the best servant. So we need to learn the ways to control the ego, control our mind, so our actions are not just run on this 95% 95% absolutely unconscious actions. You know, our lives are managed by 95% unconscious actions, and so we become more aware of what is going on, and we become more aware of what is our ego, what kind of patterning it shows us, okay? But neither ego nor mind, nor negative mind is bad at all, because it tells us where we will face danger, okay? So it's a good protective mechanism. We can't just get rid of it. And the Kriya, which we will be working on today, is actually awakening to your 10 bodies. And so 10 bodies that we have, 10 light bodies, or we can say dense to light bodies, because we have physical body, we have the negative mind, the positive mind, and the neutral mind, as well as the soul body, arc line, radiant body, subtle body. You know, everything in that is part of our system, and all these bodies connect together, and they talk to each other, as well as the chakras, as you know, chakra systems talk to each other. So we will be doing that. And yes, self-liberation, I totally agree with everything you've mentioned. They are all aspects of that whole liberation, and understanding that, okay, as much as I can take responsibility, I can only take responsibility for me. I cannot take for responsibility for the others, and that's a very, very big part of it. So I just want you to dwell on this understanding of self-liberation, and whilst you do that, I want to bring you back to the times when we had Princess Diana in England. I mean, I was not in UK at the time, but I was listening to this book called Radical Forgiveness, and he was talking about that if you believe that everybody who comes into life, it comes into our vicinity, has a mission to do, like Hitler had a mission to do, and Lenin in Russia had mission to do, and even the prime ministers and presidents of countries nowadays, they all have missions to do. If we believe that this is all divine plan, and that the soul of that person that incarnated to do that mission has to be pretty, it's also running a sacrifice to be, bless you, to be a baddie, you know, to be seen as a bad person, whereas nothing is bad or good, but since we live in the dualistic world, since everything is a polarity, we have to have bad and we have to have good. So they were so strong in their will to help the humanity that they had to reincarnate being a baddie, so we could wake up to a different understanding, to a different consciousness. And so I'd like you to go into the heart space. Yes, and so Diana was, as this author of the book says, he believes she reincarnated into the role of being Princess Diana, having this specific upbringing and having this specific failed marriage, which was on pages of every magazine and newspaper, running these problems with paparazzis, and then finding love, and at the peak of the being of this wonderful romantic experience, she had to die tragically. And so she was this representation of the heart, and she allowed England to open up their heart. So after having gone through 2 wars, you know, English people are very reserved. I mean, Russian people are different. But just drawing on the, you know, traditions and differences of different cultures, we can understand, okay, English people are reserved, but when Princess Di tragically died, everyone was crying, like everyone, you know, whether they knew her or whether they didn't, whether they were in her vicinity, whether they were just in the same country, but that was just a very special time. And I'd like to just go into that space.
Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You were the greatest place to set where lives were torn apart. You called out to our country and you whispered to those in pain. Now you belong to heaven and the stars spell out your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will.
And so I would really invite you to go back into the memory of this and open your heart so you can experience all the flow of life through your heart.
Even though we try,
Whether that flow of the life seems completely senseless or frustrating or absolutely divine and happy, no matter what it is, I'd like to invite you to feel the feelings.
Footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You were the greatest place to set where life was torn apart. Goodbye, England's rose. From a country lost without your soul, who missed the wings of your compassion more than you'll ever know. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's
And one of the very important missions that every one of us has on this planet, in this day, is to feel. As a spirit, as a divinity, we have no senses. On this planet, we've been given 5 senses, and some people have 6. So it's amazing what large spectrum of things we can feel. So please draw your attention to the temperature of the room as you sit there. Draw your attention and track the sensation through your body. Is there an area that feels blocked, that feels tense, that feels uneven? Is there an area that feels loose? Begin to notice your breath. Don't alter it, just notice what kind of breath it is. Do you hear it? Do you sense it? Begin to notice what taste you're tasting in your mouth. Tracking the sensation. Do you hear your heartbeat? Do you feel your heartbeat? What we're feeling may not just be our experience. It could come from the ancestors. There is a pattern that runs through all the female lineage, through the bloodline, which is passed from the mother to daughter and so on. It is also passed from the mother to the son, but with boys it's a bit easier because it stops there. With girls, it continues. And so if I told you that, you know, that we, girls, when they are fetus in the womb of their mother, and they're only 4 months old fetus, they have all their eggs set. So each girl would be born with a number of eggs, which will be released throughout the life. And so, if you are an egg in your mother's body, in your mother's ovary, when she was a 4 months old fetus, in your grandmother's womb, you would have experienced everything that your grandmother experienced. And that experience will be in your cell memory. And not only that, then as your mother would be born and carry you in her ovaries throughout her life until the moment she released that released that egg, and the egg met the sperm and you were born. So my mom was 24 when she gave birth to me. So for the 24 years I was in her ovary experiencing every little emotion or hatred she experienced through her 24 years. And that experience also memorized in your cell. And just based on this knowledge, I invite you to drop those experiences that don't even belong to you. About 80% of all that baggage that we carry with us doesn't even belong to us. We now have the opportunity, in this day and age, with all the wisdom that is coming through, we have the option to say, okay, enough. This stops with me. You can take that option. It is up to you to take that responsibility and drop the pain of previous generations. So with that in mind, I would like you to begin the practice and trying to keep your heart open through the practice. And there's so much to say. There's so much that I'm trying to really package it. But as we move through the Kriya, I'll probably tell more. Okay. And if you have any questions, do ask me. Okay. Or I can stay behind also to answer questions. Okay. All right. So the first exercise will be quite challenging, but we will only do it for 1 minute. Now, I will demonstrate first. You will lie on your back The arms will be by the side. You will bring the lower back to the floor as much as you can. If you have a weak lower back, you can put your hands under your lower back or under the bum. Otherwise, arms by the side, you lift your chin and bring your chin to the chest, and you lift your feet 6 inches off the floor, and you gaze at the tips of your toes. In that posture, you begin long, deep breathing. And as you can see, I'm starting to shake, yeah? My body knows this posture really, really well, and so it starts to do the process of readjusting already. Okay? So please, ready, steady, get into the posture on the floor. Okay, ready, steady, go. And if you are on your first 3 days of period, you can just lie there and pretend you're doing the posture. You can also, all the rest of people and gents, you have no excuse. Okay, and keep breathing and adjust your breath to such degree that it can sustain you through this posture. So see what you can do, see what your breath can do for you. Of course, listen to your body and work with your body's limitations. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. It's a challenge. Yes, it's a challenge. 15. You can do it. You can do 10 seconds. Keep breathing. Let that breath deepen and sustain you. Perfect the posture. Inhale. Suspend your breath. Squeeze anus, perineum, and your navel. And exhale, release and relax. You can bring the knees into chest to alleviate the tension on your lower back. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well done. The breath is the miracle of life. I was thinking about it last night, that without breath we can't live even past few minutes, and yet it's a bit underestimated, and we get it for free. This is absolutely priceless breath or prana that brings life to our body. Okay, continue lying on the floor on your back and hugging your knees. Bring the nose towards your knees and begin long, deep breathing. This posture adjusts your thyroid and parathyroid glands, which are responsible for the youthfulness. And just enter the stillness of that posture and the breath of that posture. posture. Exhale fully, hold the breath out. Squeeze the anus, perineum and your navel. These three muscles called root lock or mulbandha. And inhale, release the posture. Release the posture, yes. And rock yourselves up to sitting, please. You can sit cross-legged or you can sit with one leg in front of the other, which is called easy pose. So we're going to go into ego eradicator. Here's me saying that we don't get rid of ego, and here's me now teaching the ego eradicator. So the end of the tips of the fingers will go onto the pads of the palm. So not the full fist, but onto the pads. The thumb will stretch to the side and arms will go to 60 degrees, okay? In this posture, you will close the eyes and begin breathing through the nose, in and out. And as you inhale, your belly will fill up. And as you exhale, the belly will come towards the spine. And you will focus on the top of the head or the space between the thumbs. Please keep the posture correct as much as you can, elbows straight, and enter into that correct breath or yogic breath. You will feel the tension on your inner arm from the thumb. 60 degrees, keep it up there. This posture helps you to open the heart. Do your best. Be alert. You're almost there. You're almost there. Breathe. Let the breath work for you. If you are expanding beyond your boundaries, just hold your own hand in your mind's eye. Be your own friend. 15 seconds. Inhale deeply, suspend your breath, touch the thumbs above your head, stretch the fingers, stretch, stretch, stretch all the way up. Squeeze the root lock, which is the anus, perineum, navel. Keep the posture, exhale fully. Hold the breath out, squeeze the root lock again. And inhale, release the arms, release the breath. Just stay in that space. If you need to stretch your legs. You can stretch your legs if you need to stretch your legs. Well done. And please, let's give them a shake quickly. rub. Okay, and we're going to open the legs up to the position where we can comfortably do it. So we will keep the feet flexed. We will be inhaling to the center, stretching up, turning towards the leg, and then exhaling to the leg, bending forward. Then inhaling back to center, turning to the other leg, exhaling down to the other leg. Okay, please begin. And again, going with the pace that is comfortable for you. Feeling your movements. Trying to work on the lower back. Feeling the stretch on the inner thighs. There's some wonderful self-expression going on. I really like it. I always feel like I'm a seaweed when I do this. Keep going. Inhaling to center, exhaling to the leg. That's wonderful. Come into the center. Fix your hand somewhere along the knee or along the leg. If you can reach down to the big toe, great. Press on the big toenail. Otherwise, hands just somewhere else on the leg. And we're going to inhale up, exhale down. If it's a small movement, it's fine. Just as if you are a stapler moving the only upper part and moving at the hinge. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Very good. Keep going. Head stays in line with the spine. Head does not go down. Good. Those of you who mastered this and you can go faster, you can do. Perfect. And please inhale up. Suspend your breath and now fully exhale, squeezing the belly in, getting rid of all the air out of your lungs. Hold the breath out and bend forward as low as you can. that there and squeeze the root lock. Breath is held out. And inhale, relax your legs. You can give them a shake. So we were stretching a life nerve, in other words known as sciatic nerve. I'm sure you all know it. Okay. Bringing the legs back into the easy pose. Holding on to the ankles. We will do the spinal flex. So let me demonstrate what we're going to do. So you'll come forward, opening the chest, inhaling, and then you will round the whole of your back from the coccyx up to the skull, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Breath will be through the nose. So inhaling, exhale. Really working the whole length of your spine. These people, yes, great. Eyes are closed and focused inwards. Keep the head up as if you have a crown on, like Princess D. Yeah, you can hold on today if it's more comfortable. That's it, very good. So it's not so much bowing, it's just opening the chest and then rounding the spine as we arch the back. And again, if you want to go a little bit faster, it's up to you. You set the pace.